Okay, what do we have here? Well, what we have here is a train that is paused along the tracks. And these tracks are running just behind my hotel here in New Orleans. So I'm in New Orleans doing some work, and I see this train here behind my hotel. So I thought I'd come out and take a look at it. And lo and behold, this train contains HazMat, actually various kinds of HazMat. So I'm very quickly going to describe at least what I can see here. Now, down at this end of the train, there are what appears to be 3 cars. Those are tank cars. So a tank car is a type of a rail car. There are 3 of them there. A tank car is used to haul liquid, hazardous materials. From this distance, I can see that it's placarded. I'm not quite sure. I think it's got a corrosive placard on there. Without walking down and getting closer, I'm not quite sure if that's it. So I'm not going to see any more of that. Here, though, is one I can get a better look on. And this is another tank car. And this one contains a class 3 flammable liquid that specifically is methyl methacrylate monomer stabilized. That's a mouthful, right? But you can see the marking there of the proper shipping name on the tank car. That must appear on 2 sides, so it would be on the opposite side of the tank car. And then also, just above the shrubbery, you can make out the placard, the class 3 flammable liquid placard, and then it has on it the 4-digit identification number, 1247, which is the identification number for methyl methacrylate monomer stabilized. That, the placard and the identification number, must appear on all 4 sides of the tank car. Now, there's more, and I'm going to see if I can walk down here and get any closer to the tank cars containing HazMat down there. Okay, I was able to get a little bit closer to this one, and here we have another tank car. This one is clearly identified as containing a corrosive. So you can see the placard there clearly. That's the class 8 corrosive. It has the identification number 1830. I don't know off the top of my head here what that identification number is for, but I will in just a moment, and I'll post it. I'll have it here on the image. So I don't know exactly what it is right now, but I'm gonna suspect that that is the identification number for an acid, because you can just make out there the word acid. That might have once been a proper shipping name marking on the tank car. Here's something we can see now that we're much closer, and that is the tank car specification. That's it right there. Okay, that means this tank car was made to a certain specification, and then just below it, the qualification and inspection date, so when it was last qualified and when the due dates are. So on this tank car, after December 31st of 2021, this tank car could no longer be filled and shipped with HazMat. That is its qualification due date, but it should be good until then. This marking must also appear on 2 sides of the tank car. Now, right over here, we have something which appears on a lot of tank cars, but isn't necessarily required. And that's this Chemtrek number. Now, it's a good idea for it to be there. There may be other requirements or reasons why it's there, but there is nothing in the regulations of the DOT that require that phone number to be on a tank car. Okay, though it is a good idea if it's there. Okay, I am going to continue seeing if I can walk on down this line and see if there's anything else that I can see on this tank car, or if I get kicked off. Okay, well that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to be able to make it any further down there. As you can see, my options are either to jump the train or to fall in the ditch. I don't intend to do either. So this is as far as I'm going to be able to go with this particular rail car, even though I can see and I'm sorely tempted to go on and take a look at some of those other tank cars further on down. I am just going to conclude with this one right here, and we can get this, it's right on top of me, but this is another tank car that is designed for the transportation of hazardous materials. It's got the certification, it's got the inspection dates. So admittedly, looking at it now, its tank car specification up there is a little bit faded and rusty. So this might have been originally designed for hazmat, but is no longer. And I can tell that at least because it's not placarded. There's no placard indicating a hazardous material. So I suspect that this is a tank car that was maybe once used for hazardous materials and perhaps is no longer, or at least right now, is not currently being used for hazardous materials. I'm going to take my walk back. But you, if you ship or receive hazardous materials by highway, by rail, by vessel, by air, then you and some of your employees will be subject to the regulations of the US DOT and perhaps international agencies, and they all require training. And I can help you to provide that training or any consulting services that you need. So give me a call if you have any questions. Thank you very much.